scandals happen all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change?
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me. My apologies.
What is this going to mean for the region?
My apologies. North Korea, South Korea's policy choices on North. It's been pretty unreal. We didn't really expect any kind of attention like this at all. We certainly never had anything like this in our life before. Got to the point where we had to turn off the phones and Facebook and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. We're pleased to come back to the BBC and sort of bookend this with you. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, we didn't get a chance to properly meet your family last time. It was under slightly different circumstances. So perhaps you can introduce your lovely wife and children now for us.
Really anything like this at all. We've got all kinds of sort of commentary and feedback and stuff like that. I had some woman write to me and ask me about, was I a psychic? Did I see special numbers in the sky and stuff like that? I mean, we just got this massive wave of email and solicitation and stuff like that. And we to the people in the media and stuff like that who we didn't respond to, we apologize if it seemed like stonewalling. We just didn't know how to respond. We didn't really know. We never had anything like this before.
And when you
in Busan, all of them there, Robert, Marion, James, Kim Jong-un as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, good to see you're excited about being on telly. That's not the first time.
Right.
Jung-un, can I just ask you, first of all, your two wonderful, lively children, how do you cope with what you can do, where you can go?
At first, it's very difficult to stay in the house very long time. So people a little bit short time, playground, try to far away from the people. And a couple of times a week, we hike the hill. This is a spring season in Korea, so we try to go see the flowers and trees, and they can shouting, scream inside the tree. So
right.
We are trapped.
Yeah, you can get out a bit, which is important, because I imagine you'd all go stir crazy if you couldn't. Robert, in terms of the country, I mean, some of the measures taken within South Korea are what I guess a lot of Westerners would see as quite extreme. I mean, people can track your every movement. How well received is that process?
I think South Koreans have actually dealt with it really well. I think social compliance here has been pretty high. You don't see the kind of stuff that you've seen in the United States with, like, people crowding beaches and people refusing to stay off the subways and stuff like that. I mean, South Koreans have actually really responded really well, and that's why the curve is flattened, right? I mean, the cases are down now to like only 100 a day, so it's actually been pretty successful. Sorry, my kids are...
No, you must never apologize. That's one thing you can never apologize for now. It's part of the scene, isn't it? It's what we expect. Right. But in a sense, also, we're living in a world, Robert, now where working from home, that teleworking phenomenon, is something we all have to deal with. People see this. They might have laughed and loved what they saw a couple of years ago. They can empathise now. I mean, this is a new way of working, and I guess it's transformational.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough for us. I mean, as you can see, it's very difficult. And I put this on Twitter, too, right, that employers who have employees with kids like our age, it's going to be very, very difficult. I get maybe 2 hours of work done a day, maybe 3 with this. We're fighting with them all the time. They got nothing to do. They're climbing the walls. It's just really, really tough, right? And that's why I'm glad that things are lightening up in a little bit, because at least we can take them outside so they can use a little bit of their energy. But I mean, 3 weeks ago, it was very, very hard because they just couldn't go anywhere. And, there are only so many games you can play and puzzles you can do before they just kind of,
Absolutely.
run around.
Absolutely.
That's actually been quite tough, as you can see.
And a lot of people will share that sense of let's say, challenge that we might call it. I do want to ask you one other question, though, about the region, really, and